Now let's talk about the negative aspect of buyer psychology. It's what I call buyer radar. See, buyer radar, that's when you can stand up in the front of the dealership or inside the showroom, and you can look out there and look at the customer, and you can tell exactly which ones are the buyers and which ones aren't the buyers. Okay? When you perfect that, get my 800 number out of my book, and you give me a call in Sacramento, and I'm going to come and get you, and we're going to make a workbook up with your picture on the cover, and you and me, we're going on the road. Because there is no such animal as buyer radar. There is no way to determine on site which one's the buyer and which one isn't. It's really very simple. See, I have 3 keys that I try to keep in mind every single day. If you want to write these down and do what I do, carry them on a little index card in your pocket, it'll kind of remind you. The 3 most important things you need to remember. Number 1, ask everybody to buy. Number 2, everybody's a buyer. Everybody's a buyer. Okay, number 3, we get paid for written customer offers. We're going to cover the other 2 a little later, but let's talk about that. Everybody's a buyer. All the research that I've ever seen since back in the mid-70s, hundreds of thousands of people interviewed, proves that when someone comes into your store, there's almost an 85% chance that that person's going to be driving something different within the next 10 days. So, you know, the next 10 people that walk into that showroom, 8 of them are going to own something different within 10 days. People do not want to come in and deal with you. They don't trust you. They don't like you. You're a car salesperson. You know, and they're not going to come into your store unless they really are ready to buy an automobile. Okay? They have needs and they have wants. It's a big investment. Okay? It's a confusing thing. There's all kinds of input. There's all kinds of models. And they're not going to be in that store unless they're ready. So the research is correct. And what happens is when we think we've got buyer radar, what we're doing is we're justifying. You can always tell the salesperson who's got buyer's radar because when they come inside and the sales manager asks them that question that we hear, the one that we dread, what happened to those people you just talked to? The answer is those mooches, etc., etc. You know all the names. What we do is we put labels on these people to cover up our ego, to cover up our failure. So what you need to do is you need to accept the fact that the people coming on the lot are ready and willing to buy something. They're motivated. They want the car. There's people out there who absolutely want something that's on your lot. That's the emotional side of it. And the logical side of it is that they need your car. See, they need your car to get where they're going. It's survival in the 90s to have an automobile. You know, they've always taught us in the car business that the most important purchase in a person's life is their house and second is the car. That's wrong. That's the way it used to be maybe, but that's not the way it is today, because if you don't have a car, you can't go to work. And if you can't go to work, you can't make payments on your house or your apartment. So when these people hit your lot, they're looking for somebody who's going to help them to solve their transportation needs and or wants. So buyer radar, that's a no-no. Everybody that walks on your lot is a buyer.